Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. Busy day today. We have Nicole DiCello on, and Nicole is the owner of the Bedlam Book Cafe in Worcester on Green Street. Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you.
And I read about you, was it in, which magazine or newspaper was it in? Do you remember? I mean, you've been everywhere, I think.
I've had several articles. Just recently, I had an article in the Worcester magazine.
That had to be it.
It was last week.
Okay.
It was the last call.
Yeah. Wasn't there one before that, though, and I saw it?
So I've been in the Worcester Business Journal.
Okay.
I've been on Mass Live a couple of times. Yeah, we keep popping up.
What made you decide to, it's 7 months old, it's over near Kelly Square, really right there. What made you decide to do this?
I was ready for a big change in my life and just wanted to do something different, have a more direct impact on the community that I love. And I just fell in love with Worcester so much once I moved there. I mean, I had always known of Worcester.
Where'd you come in from?
I've lived in the Central Mass area for 20 years.
Yeah.
I was in Leominster for 12 years. So it's not that I was far.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't realize the extent of what was going on in Worcester until I actually moved there 5 years ago. So
what were you doing before you decided to open the Bedlam Book Cafe?
I worked in the corporate world for almost 20 years.
I did that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you do? Were you an accountant, a secretary?
No, I was. I worked in software, a very kind of technical position. A development specialist and technical writer for interoperability. So I did that for many years and I definitely liked it, and it was interesting work to do. But, I was just ready to do something different.
Ready for a change.
Yeah.
So I bet you're an avid reader.
I am. I'm a book lover.
What's your favorite genre in books?
I read a lot of nonfiction, actually. I read a lot of stuff that's, like women's studies or memoirs or science books. I
started getting
into poetry. I read a lot of poetry.
Oh, you would have loved Carol. Gary's wife is just a Carol Mays. Oh gosh, she's a terrific poet. Where did you come up with the name Bedlam Book Cafe?
So the word Bedlam has a couple of meanings to me. The first is that one of my favorite books of poetry by one of my favorite poets, who was a Massachusetts poet, Anne Sexton. Her first book of poetry was called To Bedlam and Partway Back. And I love that book. Yeah. So that's one of the things that, means something to me. And the other thing is that I just think that it's just bedlam right now. The political climate, the environmental climate, every kind of climate.
Do you serve all kinds of coffee there?
No. We do have coffee, but it's pretty minimal. We just have medium and dark roast, French press.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to say, it's excellent coffee. It's a local coffee roaster, Blue Fire Coffee, and his coffee is fantastic, and people have really raved about our coffee. Do
you have decaf too? So many places I go, why not? There are those of us who can only have one, maybe regular a day, and because physically we have to go over, you're going to
I know.
Really?
I know.
Think about it.
I know. Like my mom, she only drinks decaf, and
yeah. I don't know what it is. If I can get away with one cup of regular coffee. If I got a lot of food in my tummy. That's okay. But as the day goes by, and I don't know, you're so busy, maybe you're just grabbing a snack. That Dunkin' or Starbucks in the bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. Oh, but if I drink it, it can make me nauseous after about an hour. I'm like, not because it's bad, but because my body's having a reaction to it somehow.
I know. I find my body goes through changes and at times and how it deals with coffee. Like right now I'm not drinking coffee because it's not working well with me.
You can tell, like if I go to a place and I order a decaf, I can tell if the kid at the window messed up. Within a half an hour to 45 minutes, I know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I'll go in from now on. So now the Bedlam Book Cafe, and it's on 138 Green Street, Suite 1. That means what now? Suite.
It's just all of the little, there's a bunch of stores and Birch Tree Bread Company in there, and we're just all divided up into little storefronts within the building. I mean, stores within the building.
So if you're at the Rotary at Kelly Square in Worcester, God help you. I hate it. I hate driving through that thing. I heard they're going to improve it. Am I right?
They are. They're changing it. They're making it into an actual kind of rotary, like a peanut-shaped rotary.
Okay, so if you go around that, I know where the train station is. And if you go off to the right, you're heading for, I think, St. V's. I don't know. But you go around that. But before you go around all that, right? You kind of...
So you might be mixing two different places. If you're talking about the rotary by the train station.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are very close to that. We're like a quarter mile from the train station. Kelly Square is different than that rotary. Kelly Square is much closer to where I actually am right now. And basically it's an old mill building. It's like the oldest mill building in Worcester, and it's just been divided up into all these stores in there. It's called Crompton Place. It's a pretty easy destination to find.
Easy to find.
Yeah.
Like are you near the post office? Not quite. That's too far out.
No. So
there's a hill from Kelly Square that goes. What street is that? It goes up more towards Vernon area, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of close to me. It's hard to describe.
Look on your GP. You could call her.
There's a map on my website.
On your website.
What's
your website? Well, we're thinking of it.
Yeah, so my website is www.bedlambookcafe, all one word, .com.
This is Nicole DiCello, and she is the owner, the CEO of it. Started it 7 months ago. Were you amazed when you found a place for this? Just that, like that?
Yes, I definitely felt like. Well, there were a couple of other spaces that I was looking at, and one that I was kind of close to wanting to sign something, but I ultimately didn't, and I wanted to be in the Crompton building, but there was no space available at the time, and I just kept saying to people, I want something like that building. Tell me where in Worcester I can find something like that building.
Right.
And as fate would have it, a spot was kind of opening up, and it hadn't been advertised, but I just was kind of in the right place at the right time, and I feel like I won the lottery with that space, because it was the one place that I really, really wanted.
That.
I really wanted to be in that building. It's where I hung out, where I've been hanging out for 5 years. Like, all my favorite things are in that building. So
what is in the Bedlam book? What's in there?
Okay, so in the Crompton Place building, which people often call it Crompton Collective, because there are different stores in there, but Crompton Collective is actually the name of one of the stores in there.
Okay.
So the building is called Crompton Place Building, and there's Crompton Collective that takes up the whole basement pretty much. And that is like an antique and local, artisans, makers kind of place.
Yeah.
There's the Haberdash Clothing Boutique. That's right next door to me on the first floor. There's Seed to Stem, which is a wonderful plant lifestyle boutique store. That's right across the hall from me. I'm in the space where they used to be.
Oh, okay.
They moved across the hall. And then there's Birch Tree Bread Company. That awesome cafe, restaurant, coffee place. So they're right down the hall from me on the first floor.
You're at a good location.
I'm in a very good location. And there's Michelangelo's Barber Shop. They're right above on the second floor. There's some other places like Alexis Grace Consignment Shop. Birch Alley has cool little artisanal gifts. There's the new marijuana place, Good Chemistry, is also in that.
So now
complex.
in the Bedlam Book Cafe, you walk in, what do we see?
You see books.
Tons of books. Now, where did you get all from your own stash? How do you do this?
No. So the majority of the books that we have come from library sales. We attend library sales.
They have them here too. I love them. You could walk out with a ton.
It's kind of like the best job in the world because honestly, it feels like going shopping and you're just like, even though you know you're not going to be the one reading every single book, it's kind of fun. And I mean, so it's myself and the book manager, Patrick Warner. Yeah. We curate, personally, the two of us, everything that we carry in there. Yeah. So it's either him or me or us together going to these book sales, and we personally handpick each of the books that we carry there.
Yeah. So if we walk in, it's a smorgasbord. It's not just one venue. It's a lot of different things.
Yeah, we have many different genres. We have a big poetry section, art, science, including climate, environment science, physics, astronomy, things on the mind, body, medicine, mathematics. We have a spirituality section, psychology, LGBTQ, women's studies, African American studies, history,
sci-fi,
fiction.
right? Sci-fi.
We do have a sci-fi section. We have a mystery section. Cookbooks. Cookbooks are very popular.
What are those little ones I'm beginning to like? Cozy mysteries? Never thought I'd read those. Those little paperback, cute little mysteries. Like kitty cats on the front or a dog.
Oh, I don't know them.
No, I don't know. They're kind of cute. And you know what? In this world today, it's kind of nice to have... How about them old Monk series? Remember the show Monk? I'm beginning to get into those.
No.
Oh, I found my first one at the Westboro Library book sale. I said, that's mine. I cracked up on it. I've ordered like through other libraries more of them. And I've ordered another one through Barnes & Noble. Because if you've watched the show Monk, you can picture all the characters are the same. You can picture exactly what he's doing. I love doing that. I mean, if I read a book, are you like that? You got to picture what they're doing and where.
Yeah, no. Well, that's one of the things that I love about reading is what you conjure in your own mind.
Yeah. Were you always like that as a kid?
I was.
You were.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up? What part of the world?
I grew up in Ohio mostly, and Indiana a little bit. But I loved to read as a kid.
Yeah. What brought you to Massachusetts?
I went to college in upstate New York, and I had a former roommate that was from Massachusetts, and this was like a year after college. I wasn't sure what to do, where to go, and she was like, "Hey, you should move out here. We'll get a place." So I did.
And it wasn't was it Bard by any chance? Bard College?
No, I went to Ithaca College.
I was just going to say the next one's going to be Ithaca. I remember back in the day when I was looking for college, Bard had quite a reputation. That was a horrendously party school.
Oh, really?
And what I didn't know is where I went. My parents and I didn't know that was a party school too. They kept that kind of like under the thing. I found that out when I got there. But anyway, so now what are the hours for the Bedlam Book Cafe in Worcester?
So they vary. The best thing to do is to take a look at our website. We list our hours on our contact page. Right now, during the weekdays, we open at 11, and we'll close anywhere from 6 to 8, depending on the night. The hours are listed. Saturdays, 9 to 6
That's
right now.
Great. Yeah.
Sundays, 10 to 5. So the only day we're closed is Monday,
Yeah.
although we will eventually probably be open 7 days a week.
I think that is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, there's like a little coffee urn, right? You can get your coffee there.
So it's not just it's a cafe.
Yeah.
There's an actual cafe in the back. So when you first walk in, you see all the books, but you can kind of see that there's like some lights back there in the back and a bar. and there's tables and there's multiple little seating areas.
So you can have your coffee right there at the bar. It's a coffee bar there.
It's actually a juice smoothie bar.
Smoothies too?
That's the majority of, what we offer. or that's the primary thing, I should say. It's not the majority, but that's like kind of, that was the impulse behind having a cafe there was, we make fresh organic juices and smoothies right there. We make efforts to use a lot of local produce as much as we can. So we have juices, smoothies, we do have French press coffee, we have chai, which
What is chai? I've heard of it.
So chai is, there's a lot of different interpretations of chai.
Yeah.
Mostly you'll, depending on where you've tried it, you may think of it as something that's like a very sweet tea kind of thing. But the chai that I use is actually more like the traditional Indian chai.
Oh, I bet I'd love it.
Which is that it's savory and sweet.
Yeah.
There's like some pepperiness to it.
And it's a tea.
And it's a tea.
I know the Indians
so it's a
boil
lot
milk
of
first, right? And we usually put milk in after.
Yes, so I make it with soy milk.
Yeah.
So it's just a bunch of spices and tea with hot soy milk poured over it.
Yeah.
And it's delicious. People that love our chai are like completely addicted.
How do you sweeten it? You can put Splenda in it?
I
Right?
put sugar.
We do, okay.
I do put sugar, but I can make it without sugar if somebody wants. And I have some sugar alternatives there.
Okay.
So we have chai, we have herbal teas, we have iced teas, Moroccan mint iced tea and hibiscus iced tea right now.
Iced coffee?
We will. We don't have it yet,
Okay.
but we are going to have it
Oh, I
because
love
people
it.
have been asking for it. And we also have little bits to eat. We have just light things, like grab and go things. We have protein energy bites,
Yeah.
which are these like oat, peanut butter, honey, chocolate chips balls that are just little bite
I think
size.
you'd be so hungry.
They're so good.
Do any of them have chocolate in them?
They have chocolate chips in them.
Oh.
Yeah. And then we have, we just started offering mason jar salads, and they're just what they sound like, mason jars filled with salad.
Oh my God.
And little dressing that is kept separated by just sitting on little wax paper at the top, and you can just grab them and go.
How big? A regular mason jar?
We have 16-ounce size and 32-ounce size.
You keep them fresh, probably make them daily, right?
Yeah. We only make like a couple at a time right now because we just introduced them.
In a mason jar.
In a mason jar. So we have these like grab and go kind of things.
Yeah.
And we also have little specials that we offer, like right now, because there's really good local organic strawberries
Yeah.
that are starting to come in. We're offering some parfaits.
Where do people sit? They come in. Now, you said there were tables. You want to come in and read. Are they all just tables, or do you have some booths or some easy chairs? How does it look?
So there's a few sections. So first of all, we have some random little chairs just placed around the bookshelves so that when you're looking at the books, you want to just sit right where you're looking, you can do that.
Yeah.
Then there's a little seating area right within the bookstore part, and that's 4 chairs kind of like this.
Yeah.
And a little table in the middle, and so you can just sit there with a book or something from the cafe and read or whatever. Then there's the bar area, the juice smoothie bar.
Yeah.
You can there's room for like 8 people around that bar, and then there's some tables back there in that cafe area too.
And I think you're welcome. Authors do come. They can come and speak, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we have events.
This is really cool. Name some of the events you've had so far.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of poetry readings. And we've had Reggie Gibson, we've had a local slam poet, Victor Infante, and a San Diego slam poet that's one of his friends, Lizzie Wan. They just recently performed. We have a slam poet tomorrow night. It's not just slam poetry, though.
Yeah.
We have, we've had Karen Schofield, January Gil O'Neill. We have a Worcester County Poetry Association event that's coming up on Saturday night called Postscript, and there's going to be 4 of those that happen each month.
Yeah.
We have started to do poetry slams the first Friday of every month.
Yeah.
We also have author readings, like we're going to have next week. A local author that wrote a memoir called Left, Gay, and Green. That's taking place coinciding with the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising in New York City. We have another local author that published a fiction book. And we have academic talks. So local professors,
they come
in the area. Yep, we just had Abby Goldberg a month ago. She came and spoke about her latest research and her latest book published by Oxford University Press about LGBTQ relationship and divorce and how that looks for LGBTQs now that they can legally marry. There's also all these...
Have you had doctors on as well as other professors, anything like that?
I've had other professors come and speak about like some of their latest research and books. Ed Carr, who's a professor of, he does a lot of like climate change work, and he sits on the Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change. He came and spoke about this documentary that we viewed at the bookstore that night, and he spoke along with a local farmer, a woman-owned farm. She grows organic, uses organic farming practices. We
are talking with Nicole DiCello. She is the owner, the CEO of the still fairly new Bedlam Book Cafe over in Worcester, 138 Green Street, Suite 1. She serves some little takeaway food, some great coffee, some tea, and you walk in and you're surrounded by, I haven't been there yet, but you're surrounded, according to Nicole, surrounded by the books. It sounds relaxing.
It is. People comment quite often, actually, on the vibe in that bookstore.
Is it quiet?
It's quiet, which is... it's quite a bustling building that I'm in. And in some places in there, it can be, really lively, at times noisy even. And people remark when they walk in the bookstore that it's got that kind of like, chill out kind of vibe, and which is a nice balance in that building, I think.
Well, people, your hours are good because if you come in maybe on the lunch hour, right?
Yep.
And then, because if you open at 11, perfect.
Yeah.
And then you're open... So till 8 some nights.
Yeah, so we're open till 6, some nights 7, some nights 8. It may just, we're kind of leaning more towards just being 7. Not a lot of people come in to the 8 o'clock hour. Right. So if there starts to be a demand for that, we may consider like staying that way, or, having some later hours. But
show us that she came in with a fantastic T-shirt. Show us. Did you design this about the cafe?
Well, I had a vision for what I wanted for the logo, but
let's hold it up so they can see. Bedlam Book Cafe, and what's it say on the bottom?
Real books, real juice.
Real books, real juice. Right over here in Worcester. I hadn't even heard to it if I had read about it. And why it's on a bookmark she made? Why is what has she got? A hammer?
Yes, she has a mallet.
Yep.
Yep.
What's that mean? Anything.
Maybe she's gonna smash the patriarchy.
You designed this, right?
Well, I had Atelier ID design it for me. It's a local company that does branding and marketing stuff, but I had a vision of, what I wanted.
And you did well. And now, those are for sale at the store?
They are. These are for sale.
Okay. All sizes, right?
All sizes. And I have other little things like magnets and journals and greeting cards.
Journals? I love journals.
Yep. I have some canvas totes, that you can take all your books away and,
You would probably love to meet the artist that came up here from Yonkers, New York, and Kaylin, and she, She does canvases with black ink. The sky, well, she just did the skyline of New York. That would be right up your alley. It doesn't have to be New York. Her parents live up here. And she does all kinds of things like that. She get you two connected. I think she would love it.
Nice.
I've got about 2 minutes left. Again, how can people reach you?
Several ways. We are on Facebook and we're on Instagram. Just look for Bedlam Book Cafe. Our website, www.bedlambookcafe.com. Our contact information is also on the website. Our phone number, our Facebook, and
Are you usually there so they can actually see you in person?
I'm almost always there. There's sometimes where I leave for a few hours, like today.
You're allowed to go shopping, right?
Well, actually, that is one of the reasons why I leave sometimes is I have to get the food for the cafe for the week. So,
do you keep track of all the local book sales coming out to stock the
yes.
book?
Yes.
That's
In fact, I'm going to one on Saturday.
Why do these libraries always... Well, I don't know. Some of them are starting like at Friday nights through Sunday.
Yeah, so often there's a preview too if you're a member.
Yeah.
And so we become members so that we can go to the previews and make sure that we're getting the best books or the books that we want.
Grafton Library does that. If you're a member, you get to go Friday night.
Yeah.
It says what's a $5, $10? I don't know, to become a member. Friends
It's usually around 20.
Yeah, Friends of the Grafton Library. Something I used to do that. I'd come in early Friday, but then after a while, I thought, well, there's plenty of things here for me to see Saturday too. So and Sunday, we have had a blast talking with Nicole DiCello, the owner of Bedlam Book Cafe in Worcester. Again, it's 138 Green Street, not far from Kelly Square.
Right.
Suite 1, and you walk in. Yes, you do see books, but you can go in the back and get the juices, and some coffee, and some really cool edibles. Oh, they sound so good. That little ball thing. Do you make those yourself?
We do. We make those ourselves.
Oh.
They're delicious.
I think I probably would be like scooping like a few of those and taking. I'm not into the juicing. Do you do the veggie juices, right?
We do, and fruit juices as well.
Okay, I think I'd be more inclined to the fruit.
Yeah, we have something for everyone, and then there's smoothies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I love the idea that you take the... Was this your idea to take the bell jar? What's it called?
Oh, the mason jar. Yes, mason jar salads.
That is a cool idea.
Yeah, because then you get a jar that you can use.
Take it home.
Take it home, or you can return it to us and you'll get 15% off the salad the next time.
How about that? So you can go in and get a salad, maybe if you're on your lunch hour, get a little coffee, some juice. They open at 11. That's pretty good, too. You can sleep late and still go over there.
Yep.
All right, don't be afraid to connect with her so she can tell you exactly, like bring you in maybe from where you're coming from, look upon your GPS, go to the website, give Nicole a call, and she can help you with, or the manager. Now, who's the manager over there?
The book manager is Patrick Warner.
Okay.
And then there's also a couple of employees that would be happy to help
And
you
it's
out.
quiet. You don't have to, and they're very smart. You've got, I know over Barnes & Noble they've taken them away. They used to have all the nice chairs you could sit in. No more. You got to go over to the Starbucks section. I think people were sitting around reading too much and leaving the books there. But Tatnuck still does. And do you ever go to Tatnuck? It's great in the back.
Yeah.
Quiet, and you've got to. They stuck with it. Good for you. I like that. And what she's doing, she's got the chairs right there by the book stacks. I know what it's like to get tired standing there. You can sit and you can start looking. Thank you, Nicole, for being with us. This is a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time and be my guest.
Riding on a shooting star, heading out toward a dream.